Hello and welcome back to Friendly Notice, the series where I attempt to assist you with computing problems that you may be experiencing or knowing of. And today I decided that I would talk about outdated software that includes and is not limited to the very operating system of your computer you may even currently be on. When it comes to the software of your computer, and even the drivers, which is just software that tells your computer how to interact with the hardware within it, things can become outdated, and when this happens, there are various things that can occur. Things just don't operate right once they get a little too old when it comes to computing. Something that you could have had for 2 years even can sometimes not operate that proficiently when it comes to software, being that there just is updates that come out that make it work better and get rid of bugs that come out. And when it comes to things that crash or things that slow down that program, these updates are very necessary in order to get them to work properly. You could be working on a Word document, and just because it's an older Word document, and by Word document I mean like the software you actually have to open in order to type, being that it's an older software, it may have issues, and these updates will get rid of those issues, and in many cases just patch them, make it so it's a much better experience. Now, when it comes to the operating system, this is a bit different, and I'm not going to talk about Macs for the sole purpose of I really am not too familiar with Apple products. I know that many people do enjoy them and use them quite prevalently, and there are reasons for using them. However, I've used a PC my entire life. It's something I'm very familiar with. In my opinion, they're easier to use, but again, I don't use Macs, so that's like saying, I don't know, I like driving a four-door sedan because I've never driven a van, sort of thing, you know. But anyway, when it comes to the operating system of PCs, once they become outdated, it'll get to the point where they are just no longer supported by Windows. In these instances, when they're not supported anymore, it's going to affect everything on your computer. Because once it's not supported, Windows does not look for updates, does not come out with updates, does not come out with patches or support for anything. So if you have something that is older, and by older I mean XP and older, you are really on borrowed time. As soon as something goes bad, it's going to get drastically bad and kind of be like a snowballing effect. If you don't keep up with the times and try to just use what you have and kind of piece things together, when it comes to computing, that doesn't really work. It sucks, it's shitty sometimes, but XP and 98, 95, all those things are old and to the point where you just shouldn't use them. And I'm making this video in particular because there are businesses out there that still use XP. Now, to you, I say this. If you have a business that's running an XP machine, or all of your computers within your business are running XP, what happens if it gets a virus? And that virus cannot be removed with anything that you have, or if you get some kind of software that you need to use that is no longer supported, it will just crash and not be usable. You have a giant paperweight then. Instead of coming up with this issue, you should just replace those units. You should get something newer. Desktops tend to last a little longer than laptops for the sole fact that they're bigger, the airflow is better, they're not as compact and overheating. They also tend to be easier to upgrade, with the parts within them being interchangeable and sometimes swapping out for better things. Laptops are so compact and tiny that to get at them, it's kind of a nightmare, honestly, and it's just harder to replace them. However, something that you can do universally for both laptops and desktops is just update them, keep them up to date. Don't try and live in the past with your machine. You're just not going to enjoy your experience. It's going to create a whole plethora of issues that just is ultimately going to make things harder for yourself. So contact your local IT and talk to them, look around. If you're comfortable with it, you can install them yourself. And again, this is for PC, Windows machines, wherein you can just get the disk, install the process through it. It pretty much self-explanatory, gives you the steps itself, and you can, make sure you have the other software you may need. But yeah, it's no longer the case where you can just hold on to these old things. These phones are no longer flip phones, they're all smartphones. It's just times are changing, and when it comes to computing, when you don't stay current with the times, you're just going to have a cascading, just terrible incident. And that was my phone. I'll get to that later. But thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Bye.